Humpday Happy Hour, hosted by Dennis in the Know. This is a webcast where dentistry meets real talk, real news, and just the right amount of sarcasm. We are pulling back the curtain on the industry. We're talking to the experts. We're talking to the innovators. We're talking to the everyday clinicians who are out there doing the work. There's no fluff, no filter, and definitely no sales pitches disguised as education. If it is happening in dentistry, from clinical insights to regulatory curveballs, or maybe the latest scandal at the ADA, we are probably already talking about it. And yes, we're bringing the goods. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned doctor, part of a dental team, part of the industry, a curious consumer, or maybe you're just here for the banter. We welcome you all to the show, because around here, we're not just in the loop, we are in the know. Hey there, Dinks. I'm Dr. Jeff Horowitz. I am with two of my best friends in the world who I've gotten to spend a lot of time with this week because of the Chicago Midwinter Dental Meeting. They are two great clinicians, great friends, Dr. Chad Duplantis and Dr. Jennifer Bell. We created this humble platform to make the dental world just a little bit smaller, but a whole lot more fun. Today we have a great topic and a great guest. We have J.L. Holliday. From my neck of the woods. Dr. Holliday is a speaker with Align, iTero, and is doing some really great things in digital, which is such a hot topic today. So we are proud to be presenting today's Humpday Happy Hour with our friends from Align and iTero. So I say to all of you, my friends, cheers. I hope you're well.
Cheers.
Everybody made it home okay?
Yes.
About this weekend, Dr. Jennifer Bell, you had the opportunity to present at ADR and AARD, and now we're not talking AARP. We're talking AARD, the American Academy of Restorative Dentistry. Very, very big honor, and you just knocked it out of the park. We were all so proud of you, so that was amazing.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna say, y'all, Jeff can attest to this because I sent him one of my emails that I've been on, I've been kind of going crazy with since Monday. I came back from Chicago just jazzed. I have this energy about me. I don't know if they put something in the drinks that we had. I don't know what happened, but Jeff can attest. I've been sending very lengthy emails out since Monday. I sent him one this morning to help him with some of the things that I don't usually help with in regards to dinks. But I'm pumped, man. I mean, I am on dentistry next level. I am ready to just go crazy with dentistry right now. I don't know why, but I am freaking jazzed.
Is it awesome. Dentistry or is it what we're building? Because I'll tell you, I feel like I got hit with a frying pan to the face when I showed up. Like,
it's what we're building.
You go, I know. You go to these meetings and you're so excited about dentistry and about your colleagues and your people, and you're pumped and you're ready. This probably happens at CE courses too, right? You go and you're like, oh, this is so amazing. My world is going to change. It's revolutionized. And the minute you walk through the door, there's a flood on the floor. Someone's called out. You walk into the first patient and you're like, do you know that I just spent all weekend learning how to be the best dentist possible? And they're like, oh, I'm so pissed you're here. You know, like, it's just a frying pan to the face. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to have to be internally motivated now. I'm going to have to dig deep.
Don't let them blow your buzz, JB.
It's different because, yes, we are building something fun. Y'all, I mean, people who weren't there don't realize how great of a weekend that we had. And that's not being braggadocious. It was just awesome. I mean, everything about it was awesome. But like, I came back and I was ready to I'm just going to say it. I was ready to make shit happen. I mean, Jeff got an email to him and Luke that I was sending to Glidewell that was about 2 pages long. Jeff got an email this morning. I mean, there are just things that are happening, just following up on things that happened from this weekend, and then just really just building upon the momentum that we picked up in Chicago. I think it was probably our most productive 3 or 4 days that we've ever been together. And it wasn't because we sat there and met all day long.
No.
Just stuff was falling into place. It happened.
It was just kind of, it was all happening. And for everyone out there who may not be familiar, every year, the three of us go, Jennifer actually had one of her neighbors built us a beautiful podcast booth that we're able to do podcasting and webcasting with video, everything, and amazing sound right from the showroom floor, which is pretty cool if you've ever listened to how bad the acoustics are in any of those places. So every year we've been doing this. We had so many people. We did so many interviews just in the podcast booth. But aside from that, leading up to the meeting is the American Equilibration Society. So I always go to that every year. At the tail end of the meeting is the American Restorative Academy, which JB spoke at this year. And Chad was actually lecturing during the midwinter meeting. So on top of doing all of these tasks and trying to build Dinks, we're also working on our own education and lecturing, and so much goes on during that week. And then besides that, you meet so many old friends that, you know, you just want to spend time and have fun with your friends too. But I always come back from that really pumped. But same as you, JB, you know, it's like you have all these great ideas on the airplane. Here's what I'm doing as soon as I walk through that door on Monday. And then you're like, and then I realized, oh yeah, we got to move on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always tough, but Chad, I appreciate that enthusiasm, and I'm glad there's always one of us that
always
holds
locked
it.
in. Well, I have a hands-on course Friday that is new. I haven't done it before, so to those of you attending, should be fun. But so that's taken my focus and bandwidth because the AARD lecture was so intensive and so different than anything I had done before, that I'm now having to refocus on this hands-on. But I promise you, Chad, come Saturday, as soon as that bell rings and I am done with my course on Friday, I have a runway that's looking pretty good. And Austin is going to be hearing from me a lot.
You know, there's just a time, like, you know, you've got a course on Friday, and I think I realized what energized me so much is that when I spoke at Chicago, I'm off for a few months, which
doesn't happen. Yeah.
No, it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in a while, but I'm perfectly okay with that. You know, I'm perfectly okay with it because, I mean, I rewrote my speaker packet. You did get a long email from me on Monday. I rewrote my speaker packet on the plane. I chat GPT'd, put it all into this like PDF and cleaned it up. And then I started responding to emails from like 3 months ago, like, hey, can we have your speaker packet? Can we have your speaker packet? And I was like, boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just been a crazy week. And it's like, okay, I'm ready to do this again. Let's go.
Good.
Let's go. What's next?
Well, let me do the news because it might just be the frying pan to your energy again.
All right.
Are you going to do the real serious one? Like the really serious one?
Yeah, I got so many. Guys, the dentists were off the chain. I left for 1 week and they just decided to go nuts.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it's like you always say, I hate that dentists always get called out, but you start to think maybe we ought to.
Maybe we ought to. Maybe we need to shine a little light into the creepers.
Take it away.
All right. Hold on. I have to hide you guys. Can't wait till Austin comes on board. All right, Dinks. Sorry I missed the news last week, but we have got a ton of news for you this week. First important news story of the week is a recap and follow-up from a news story that got quite a bit of popularity, talking about Florida and their expanded function, looking at the D hats and bringing it forward. Now, according to some sources that I have down in Florida, this is not new. So forgive me for not knowing that this has been brought to the House multiple times. It keeps passing the House for a variety of political reasons, as I'm sure you can imagine, and then dies once it gets to the Senate. So as of today, the belief is that this will die yet again in the Senate and won't go forward. And a lot of folks pointed out that in a lot of areas in Florida where they live, they're not seeing the shortage that is apparently reported. All we can go by when we talk of shortage is what is statistically being published, whether that's real data or not. I guess we'd have to do a little bit more digging into the statistics, but these are government posted statistics. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that. We'll continue to watch because, again, if Florida made that type of move, that would be pretty shocking, I think, to most of us in the dental industry. All right, I have to do it. I debated whether I was going to do this story. I haven't done a dentist murder story or like a dentist got arrested story in quite some time. So I decided, all right, it's time. Because in 1 week, 2 different dentists, one got arrested and is accused of, the other got sentenced to, I think, 60 years in jail, something crazy, ex-Michigan orthodontist, both for some creepy stuff. A lot of juvenile solicitation stuff, child pornography, etc. And all I can help and think is like, Jeff has talked about how we've been a long trusted industry and that's sort of getting eroded away. And, I hate it when these stories come out because, again, it reflects poorly on us. And as they compile on one another, you do start to worry that this is now becoming a troubling statistic, that we're really great at suicide and really great at making dumb choices. And if I'm being really honest, I miss some of the dumb choices of old that we used to make that I'm not going to bring to light now. But dentists have always kind of made some interesting life choices, but usually they were more in the confines of legal, but maybe not great. Now we're just doing a bunch of illegal stuff, and I'm not okay with it. So let this be a PSA to all you dentists out there watching. Knock it off. Stop doing your pedophilia stuff and just get back to doing an amazing Class 2 composite. You can do this. You want to do Invisalign? Knock yourself out. You want to do smile makeovers? Love it. Stop doing the creepy stuff. It's really starting to annoy me. All right, now to some Olympic news, because the dentists were all over the Olympics as well. Of course, as you know, our curling team, the U.S. women's curling team, Tara Peterson, dentist. Gosh, I was pulling for them, made it all the way to the bronze round and lost in the bronze round. Didn't take home a medal, but I follow her on Instagram, and I got to tell you, it looks like she is having a ball. Regardless, she's there with her sister, some amazing other female athletes. They have their family and their kids there. They're touring all over Europe and really making the most of this time. So what an amazing opportunity. And then, of course, Jack Hughes isn't a dentist, but he's going to need one really soon because our USA men's and women's hockey team brings home gold. How amazing is this? I mean, beating Canada, that doesn't suck, does it? Jack Hughes, we're here for you. I've seen a lot of posts from my friends who are dentists already playing around with your smile and envisioning your new perfect smile. I have to tell you, being in a town with a hockey team, I have a few hockey players that come, or former hockey players. Most of them don't get fixed until they're done because you'll put something beautiful in and immediately he'll do the exact same thing over again. So I sense a flipper is in his future, but should he decide, he has now many dentists that are putting their names in the hat to take care of him. Now, we talked about Florida and their expanded function DHAT situation. Virginia is also looking at some workforce legislation as well. So we've got 2 states that are duking it out, trying to figure out where they're going to go with workforce. They're not alone. There are a ton of other ones. I think the one in Virginia is getting pretty heated. We've got 4 different bills that are up right now to address workforce issues, some giving scaling capability to dental assistants under a supervised training program, some expanded function stuff, some foreign trained dentists coming in and getting licensed as dental hygienists. There's a lot of contention. So we're definitely going to keep our eye on that. All right, last news story of the day, because I love a good Epstein story. And remember when I talked about that creepy dental operatory that was found on Epstein Island? Well, the mystery unfolds because his girlfriend was a dentist. But that's not all. Not only was she a dentist, she was a dentist who did her training at Columbia University. And not only did she do her training at Columbia University as a foreign student, she may have had some financial support in getting in to Columbia University. And yes, Columbia University is the latest tragedy and latest downfall of the Epstein. Not blaming Columbia University at all. They're just now also involved in this never unending web that was woven. Is that right? Woven with the Epstein case. Because he may or may not have given some money that may or may not have supported some things at Columbia University so that this individual could then pursue her education and become a dentist at Columbia University. Columbia University is trying to make it right. They've done a reparations, grant out to a couple different institutions that are focused on human trafficking and sex crimes. So they're trying to make it right ultimately, as we're all untangling this terrible decades long mess that was made. And with that, that's the news.
Did you forget to bring us back up?
No, these buttons just aren't as easy as StreamYard. Oh, that's the one.
It'd be really nice to have a it'd be really, really nice to have a producer, wouldn't it?
It would be great, actually.
Yeah, that'd be
all right.
Wonderful.
Y'all ready to bring our guest on? I'm so excited.
I would love to bring our guest on.
Are you going to introduce him, JB? Who's introducing?
Would you like me to?
Well, you kind of know him the best, I think, even though he's not that much closer to me than you, so.
I'll be happy to. Okay. I can bring him up and do it all at one time. You know
Can
what?
you?
JL, I'm just going to go ahead and bring you up because I can't do it all at one time. So we'll do that right there.
How's it going?
Good. All right. So Dr. JL Holliday is joining us tonight. I do want to thank our educational partner for this evening, Align and iTero, coming with us on this journey to bring information about leveling up your practice in the digital space. Cool thing about Dr. Holliday is he's a second-generation dentist practicing in Greenville, South Carolina, where he focuses on high-end fee-for-service care. And we're not going to hold this against him because he went to MUSC in Charleston. So you can't be mad about that, Jeff.
No, I can't. He got it half right.
Okay.
Yeah.
He served in the U.S. Navy for 6 years with a GPR at the Naval Hospital Camp Pendleton.
He got it 2/3 right.
All right. I redeemed myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll let him talk. I know his passion is digital dentistry. I know specifically his passion is moving teeth with clear aligners. We're going to talk a lot about Molis Coaching because I think that's been a big part of his journey and kind of has set him up for this really amazing space in digital dentistry that maybe or maybe not he knew was coming. I personally am super honored and grateful to have you here tonight. So thank you so much, JL, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Just really flabbergasted, honestly, to be here. And my whole journey as a speaker and growing has been so unexpected, which is really funny. So you mentioned Molis Coaching, and I do have to give a ton of credit to Ryan Molis and his foundation or coaching foundation, Molis Coaching, that he created. It has literally changed my life and my practice. So I just have to give Ryan a ton of credits. I was doing like almost no Invisalign before, doing tons now, and just a lot of other cool things that I've learned from him about practice management. So just want to give him a lot of credit. I would not be here as a line speaker and, on Molis Coaching faculty if it weren't for Ryan believing in me. So thank you, Ryan, if you listen to this. And then just to echo, thank you to Align as well for giving me a chance and giving me some pretty cool technology to use in my practice.
Can we unlock that just a little bit, JL? Because I think all three of us have very similar stories, that there was a mentor or someone who came in our path that we didn't maybe know we needed, or, we thought, oh, okay, this is an interesting kind of idea. I think I'll go take a course, see what it's all about, dip my toe in it, or I've seen enough people that are doing it, whatever. And then you go and you just do not realize how much your life is about to change as a dentist. Was that kind of your experience with Molis as well?
Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, it's like I got hit in the face with a good frying pan.
Okay, so see?
Wasn't looking for it at all. And I started implementing the things that Ryan teaches, and I look back, 3 years now, and my life is totally different. So yeah, pretty cool.
When did you start practicing, JL?
So I graduated from MUSC in 2014, and then I did 6 years in the Navy. After that, I did a residency, GPR, and I've been in private practice since 2020. Bought my dad's practice in 2021, and he is my associate, which is actually really great. He's an amazing mentor and friend, and just really blessed to get to work with him.
Well, you were at MUSC, like we were there, like only within 20 years of.
Yeah, really close.
Surprised how they knew each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I want to hear, though? I want to hear because, think about it from a guy like me, how much change I've seen. I literally do not do a single thing in practice the way I was taught to do it in dental school. So I'm really curious what your perspective was. Like, what did you find getting into aligner therapy, getting into Invisalign when you started doing it? And then obviously we know what the biggest change for you was, getting some really good coaching, but how has aligner therapy, particularly with Invisalign, how has that changed over the years for you as someone who came out, 20 years plus after me?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do any of it really. I did a couple of conventional ortho cases in residency, and then they don't let us do orthodontics as a general dentist in the Navy. But my dad has been doing Invisalign for forever. I don't know, when did they come out with Invisalign? 2001 or something?
Jeff, you were there.
I was there. I don't remember the year, but he was probably like me, having to submit cases like through an orthodontist because they didn't even allow GPs to submit cases when I started.
You were there.
It was the early 2000s, let's say.
Early 2000s, yeah. So, I mean, I'm super blessed that I came into it when it was kind of all buttoned up. And I know you had to used to submit a PVS impression, and ClinChecks took a lot longer. You couldn't do 3D controls to modify things. So it's just a lot slower. And now we can scan the patient. It's so easy and so accurate. You've got the education piece of like having an outcome simulator on your iTero, for instance. We've got tools like Smile Architect that we can design restorative cases with ortho at the same time. So it's pretty wild how things have changed, but I'm fortunate I just kind of hopped in at a fun time when all that change was happening.
So when you first started with Invisalign, you mentioned something earlier, and I think there's a lot of dentists that are in the same boat, that you weren't doing a lot of Invisalign. And feel free to talk about Molis Coaching, because I think Ryan's just a wonderful human being, and I know he's very partnered with Align and doing great things. But what was your, did you have a fear to do more Invisalign? Or what was the reason that you weren't doing as much? Because trust me, I know people in this boat. This guy right here. So,
yeah, I think it's just a lack of confidence. You're not sure if it works. And maybe you do some cases, but you don't really understand the mechanics, and you don't understand patient compliance. You had a bad experience with a patient telling you they're wearing the trays when they really weren't. I know none of y'all have ever had that happen before.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, just a lack of confidence. So when you have somebody that says, here, I've got a system that works, and they just, give you everything, all the knowledge in a curriculum like what Ryan has built, then you have the confidence to take on the cases. And it takes a little bit of courage at first, because you're not sure. You see overcorrection movements happening in a ClinCheck, and it looks crazy. And you're like, I just don't want to hit approve on that because it looks so wild. But you just kind of trust the people that are giving you advice and take a leap of faith, and you turn around and you're a diamond Invisalign provider in a few years.
And that's pretty easy on your back, right?
Yeah, gosh. And your team loves it, man. The lifestyle, quality of life. I love being able to delegate stuff to my team, not because I'm lazy, like I'm a very hard worker, but my team loves it. They love being empowered to take ownership of the process, and they're the ones who are like coaching the patients through what to do. And they have a tighter relationship with the patient than I do. So yeah, it's just good for quality of life, good for your team. I mean, I think so when I bought my dad's practice, it was producing like 1.3 million. And last year we were at 2.5. So it's just 5 years. And I attribute a ton of that growth to Invisalign. So it's really changed things for me.
And how much has restorative led into that increase in growth? Because, we used to talk about Invisalign for straightening teeth, for giving you a prettier smile. Mm-hmm. But now really the push is more towards oral health and putting the teeth in the right place for more conservative restorative treatment. So how has that helped increase the number of cases that you're doing?
Yeah, well, I'd say one thing is with the ability to just simulate the cases, to simulate the restorative with the tools that Align has, you can kind of know what you're doing, have a vision, and then you can communicate that to the patient. So I don't know that I've showed a single patient a restorative outcome for an Invisalign case, and they haven't said yes, like seriously worked it up and took the time to talk with them. It's a really high conversion rate when they can see the result and just understand what's happening. And then we don't have to cut as much tooth structure, or maybe no tooth structure at all.
Mm-hmm. So what does your new patient exam look like? Because I think that probably feeds a lot into this, if I'm reading you correctly.
We have a pretty crazy new patient exam. It's a lot longer than normal. I think the patients are probably there for an hour and a half, and a lot of that is team led. So, a lot of photographs, and they do an iTero scan, get all the records. We took a lot of photographs, and then I do what I call a tour of the mouth with the patient. So it's kind of like the co-diagnosis philosophy that Frank Spear and I'm sure a lot of other big names in dentistry talk about, and just go through and show them everything. And I can't tell you the number of times that patients say, I have never had a dentist do something like that before. We used to take intraoral images on an intraoral camera and put it up and kind of do a similar thing. But when it's a 3D model of the patient's teeth, there's just something different about that. And the patient can reach out and touch the screen. So the scan is a huge part of that process. But the tour of the mouth and co-diagnosis is pretty powerful.
Do you think when you're doing that, how much are you then taking those cases and then moving it into exocad, moving it into talk to the audience a little bit about your kind of restorative digital cosmetic workflow. A patient comes in and they're either a great case for Invisalign or a great case for Invisalign with the restorative. Maybe you're doing Smile Architect. How do all these pieces of the puzzle come together?
So the way that I used to do it is I would work the whole case up, and I would do it in Smile Architect, and I would see everything. And that was great. I learned a ton. I learned how to use 3D controls. So I don't think it's bad to do that, certainly. But now what I do is I just use the outcome simulator because it gives such a realistic preview, and you can adjust things. You can move the teeth on the outcome simulator. You can change the restorations a little bit, and it just gives you enough of an idea for you to kind of know with that in your photos, and it gives the patient a really good idea. So that's how I pitch it to the patient. And then if they accept the case, then I'll go ahead and work things up in exocad. I'll usually do that at the end of the case because there's just not a lot of point in going into that much detail before you do the ortho. You kind of know where the teeth are going to end up, but not precise enough to do a really detailed wax up.
Do you do in exocad? Let's talk a little bit about your journey, because I think a lot of people are intimidated by that program, and kind of rightfully so.
Yeah.
How much are you doing in that right now? And did you have like a training pathway that you pursued to get that? Has it just been goofing around in it to kind of get more comfortable? Some combination of the two?
Yeah, it was initially goofing off. I really, my dad is a great dentist, and he can just see things in his head. And I was like, Dad, I can't do what you do. I can't visualize it like you do. I need something to plan it. And so we got ExoCAD, got a printer at the same time, and I just started tinkering around with it when I first joined him. And, you know, it was a little slower schedule, so I had more time. I didn't have kids. Got 3 little kids now. So just tinkering around. I did a couple courses from Wally Renee, who was actually my professor in dental school. He's got the Mod Institute, and that was really helpful. A lot of YouTube and just messing around with it. But yeah, it's super powerful software. Honestly, there are a lot of great options to learn it now. So it is a little intimidating, but totally you can do it. And with the launching of iTero Design Suite now, which is like a light version of ExoCAD, if you have an iTero scanner, you have iTero Design Suite. So anybody that's got an iTero can use it. Pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point that you just made, because, you know, to me, that is one of the biggest features of having an iTero Lumina scanner is that you automatically get this design suite, and you have this opportunity without having to purchase a separate ExoCAD license to immediately have access to start tinkering with it, like you said, to just start working with it. And yes, it's a little bit of a, forgive the term, a little bit of a dummy down version, because it needs to be dummy down for most dentists, because you know ExoCAD can, as JB said, be very intimidating to a dentist who really their best use of time is not, you know, becoming an ExoCAD expert, you know, per se, but to be doing the actual dentistry. So I just think that that's an incredible opportunity for people, you know, to have a scanner, and then also, without having to purchase an extra license, see how much of design they really like, and the sky's the limit. You know, you may be satisfied with Design Suite, or you may say, hey, you know, I think I want a full-blown version. But I've been pretty amazed at what you can do in Design Suite.
It has enough to do a lot of things. We actually we do same-day crowns in our office, and I did CEREC for like 14 years or something like that. And CEREC's great. I love their mills. I still use them. But I figured out a way to use my iTero scanners and ExoCAD or Design Suite to actually send restorations to my CEREC mills.
All right, we're gonna definitely have a chat about this.
So it's totally legal. It's totally legit. Not doing anything illegal. But that's what we do every day. We use iTero Design Suite. We scan on the Lumina. Got a couple of Luminas in the office, and we send it to the mills, and we figured it out, and it's working for us. So it's something you can do every day. You can delegate it to your team, which is what I do. They do all the design work and everything, and it's fun. It's not for everybody, but gosh, I love it. It's so fun. Big nerd, so that really gets me going.
So if you had to pick an ideal day of dentistry, paint me a schedule. Is it a on number 2?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You know, I have a little fondness for amalgam back there on the distal buccal of a second molar.
They're gonna take that away from you.
Yeah, no.
How would you do that when it's so easy to isolate?
Oh gosh, yeah, so easy. I don't do it anymore, but you know, I was in the Navy, so
it's an oral you can isolate if you do an oral episiotomy, and
there you go.
Tack it up,
Yeah, so ideal day. I mean, I'll let's do a number 14 crown on a patient same day. That's my jam. Maybe have some Invisalign starts. New patient. That's fun. I'm getting more into comprehensive dentistry, which Invisalign has helped me a lot, obviously.
Yep.
So I'm getting really excited about doing larger cases and the control that we can have with the digital workflow, using the Lumina and ExoCAD. to be able to, really predict how the case is going to be before you do it, and then to actually execute it. That's pretty fun. So I'm definitely enjoying that right now.
Isn't that interesting, Chad? What a novel concept.
What a novel concept.
That's what I lectured on at AARD last week.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
I was like, we don't have to be doing this the hard way anymore. We can be doing this the easy way.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, it's not easy, but
I guess my question is, I'm gonna circle back, because I think there's a lot of people that want to know, like, when you're looking at a case, and I know you're a big time Invisalign provider, is there a certain trigger that you're looking for when you're looking at that wellness scan that's like, this is an Invisalign candidate? Or what is it? What is something that maybe your team's looking for that they preface you with before you go in the room?
There's so many things. I feel like just about everybody can benefit from it. I mean, if you're narrow, if things are tipped in lingually, if there's abfractions, crowding, wear, like especially, tight anterior coupling, deep bite, and you see that just destructive wear pattern on the lower anterior incisal edges and the lingual, inclines of those upper incisors. So tons of things. Just about everybody. I mean, it's almost a little embarrassing how much I recommend Invisalign to my patients. I get a little self-conscious, almost like, I feel like I'm doing this too much, but they really can benefit from it. So, all those things. Recession, certainly another one. Lots of things to look for.
All right. So objections. When you teach to other dentists, I'm going to throw out some objections that I hear a lot. It's like rapid fire. Just give me your,
okay.
I don't worry about those kinds of things. When I talk to my patients about Invisalign, I'm worried they're going to think that I'm selling them something.
Two things I'd say: get it to come from your team, because they're going to trust them more. That would be the first thing, is get your team to say it first. And two, just, you got to be okay with hearing no. You got to get over that hurdle, kind of get over yourself a little bit. It's okay to say no. You don't have to be awkward about it, right? If they say no, you don't have to press in and be like, well, I really think you should do it. You just change the subject. What'd your kids do this weekend? It's no big deal. Make a note in the chart. Patient wasn't interested right now, or maybe they might want to do it later. But you really just have to get over that mental hurdle of the fear of hearing no. Because once you get over that, you just start having a lot more fun with dentistry.
I'm worried that there are too many choices when it comes to how to pick the right product for Invisalign. I walk into a patient and I'm supposed to magically know, are they comprehensive, light, moderate, go, express, 5, 10, whatever it is. How do I solve that problem?
I do every single case comprehensive. I don't do any other type of treatment. And the biggest reason I would say is because simplicity scales. Ryan likes to say that a lot. And I just put my fee out there. People know what my Invisalign fee is. So my team doesn't have to wait on me to say, oh, I think this is going to be 20 trays. I think this is going to be 14 trays. Let me go work up the clin check, and then we'll email the patient and let them know the fee. That just slows everything down so much. So just do it all comprehensive. Put your fee out there, and that'll work itself out.
All right. So that's funny that you say that. I mean, I'm kind of at this breaking point in my practice where I'm entirely a go practice, Invisalign go practice.
Okay.
And so for me, I mean, I have such good relationships. I mean, I play golf every weekend with my orthodontist buddy, and so I don't want to piss him off. And he's also a sounding board for me, and I don't want to send him all of my failures. But for me, it's always like, if I'm going to do a go case, they've got to be class 1. That's the first thing I'm going to look at. And then I'm going to look at the social 8. I'm going to look at their arch width, and I'm going to be like, hey, all kidding aside, is everything a go? And if it is, then they're an Invisalign candidate in my practice. Now I'm starting to dip my toes into a little bit more, advanced cases and learn a little bit more, but feel free to just throw it out there. Would you recommend that if I'm thinking about going a little bit further, that is there something that I should do for my practice? or for myself?
I would go to moliscoaching.com and sign up for Ryan's curriculum.
Damn it, JL. I thought you were going to recommend CDI with Dr. Jennifer Bell.
Oh,
God.
well, you know, it's just
I teed that up for
bias,
you.
Jennifer.
Yeah. It's fine.
I teed that up for you, but honestly, it's a thought. It's something that I'm thinking of, and I truly believe that if you want to become a better clinician for anything, whether it's root canals, whether it's extractions, you know, simple surgeries, laser, whatever, that you got to take that next step and do the education. I mean, you can't just go through the Invisalign fundamentals and think that you can cure the whole world of malaligned teeth. You can't do it. You know, I mean, you've got to take that. And I appreciate you throwing that out there. I know that's where you came from. And I know that, you know, Ryan's very involved with Invisalign, so I have no problem with you sharing it on the show. But if somebody wants to go a step further, your recommendation is Molis Coaching.
Yeah, for sure. I refer almost no cases out now. Before I was terrified. Just about the only thing that I send out is a growing class 3 patient, because it's just really hard to manage that. But yeah, class 2 kids, I'm doing Invisalign palatal expander on kids. I'm expanding 4-year-olds with aligners actually, which is a little maybe controversial, but it works.
It's not controversial. You make my heart happy when you say that.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I'm one of the newest members of Molis Coaching.
Are you? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I too, like, to Chad's point, and maybe other people have the same journey. I've done fundamentals. I've dabbled in different pieces of education, but nothing seemed to be this cohesive pathway that I could follow, very clear cut that I could take. And I am very deficient on 3D controls and the biomechanics side. Like, I know how to ask what I wanted to do. I know how I want to set the case up, because unlike you, JL, I'm more of the comprehensive side first. Like, I know comprehensive dentistry, and now I'm trying to make Invisalign do what I want it to do. So I've been trying to figure out the biomechanics piece of that. So I'm hopeful, no pressure, but you know,
it's good for that.
Like, I'm banking on it.
Matt X has got some good video lessons on that.
Matt is a savant. So
Matt's my hero.
If I could get 5% of what he knows, then I feel like I'll be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, the changes in the ClinCheck and the ability to chat with a clinician, and, you know, kind of this more, I mean, from what I've seen, I would just call it maybe a little bit more of a VIP, let's hold your hand approach to these ClinChecks is really boosting the confidence amongst the clinicians that are providing Invisalign care. And I see that there's going to be a lot of changes going forward that people may want to branch out and learn more on themselves, because I learn so much when I'm getting these ClinChecks back and when I ask a question and send something back. I mean, a ClinCheck for me is usually it's very rare that it's a one and done. And I think there's unfortunately some people that expect a one and done. But for me, it's like, well, let's modify this. You know, like, I don't want to do IPR on 10 freaking teeth. You know, is there another solution, or is this the only solution? And if not, then why? You know, and, you know, I'm getting some good feedback back from Invisalign as we're going through this process lately. And that's why I've done more. I'm feeling confident just going through that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Gotta have that confidence.
One more rapid fire question. I send in my ClinChecks and the technician sets up the case, and then I do it. Is there anything wrong with that?
Just like out of the gate, it approved?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, you're the doctor. Gosh, you're taking ownership for what happens. So at the end of the day, you're the one hitting approve. It's your license. You got to know what you're doing. So I would highly discourage people from hitting approve right away. There's tons of help. Like, obviously there's Molis Coaching, but there's tons of places to get help from. Get some help. People want to help you learn how to do this the right way. So don't do that.
You know, mention something to, have you seen an increase or an improvement in your efficiency? I think one of the greatest things that I've seen is this rapid turnaround now of ClinChecks. I mean, that was something that we always battled where, you know, let's say it went off. I waited for the technician to set it up, got my ClinCheck back. I didn't like it. I didn't even send it to the patient at that point, send it back. And sometimes several weeks would go by during that time. And then patients would be like, you know, I'm starting to lose confidence. I don't know if this is what I want to go through. Whereas I find that these things coming back in 15 to 30 minutes now after I submit. And it's like, boom, I'm still thinking about the case when it's in my inbox that my ClinCheck is ready. And I think it's better for the dentist. I think it's better for keeping trust and confidence in the patient. And because even if you have a few iterations of the ClinCheck where you have to make several changes back and forth, even with live update, it's still done within a couple of days as opposed to what could have been a couple of weeks before.
Yeah, it's so much faster. You know, I feel like I see 6 or 7 minutes a lot of times on this first.
I had one at 7 minutes today. It was crazy.
It's really
and quick. I'm not sure the down payment had cleared. You know, you're like, well, let's give it 24 hours to make sure that down payment.
Yeah, right. Let's make sure we're good.
Yeah. I find that the second and third take a little bit longer than that initial ClinCheck. You know, like when you go back and forth.
Yeah,
the first one will come back in 15 minutes, and the second will come back, you know, a day.
A little bit longer, yeah.
Well, once you start to understand the biomechanics and you're working more with live update, though, that's actually pretty darn amazing. Because usually when you get down to that last little nitty gritty, it's usually just a small tweak that you're very comfortable making yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do, Jeff. I let the techs kind of do the initial heavy lifting, and then I'll just, you know, do those little last tweaks at the end of the case with 3D controls.
So let's ask a technical question. This is going to be a little bit different than rapid fire, but what's your favorite way to do IPR?
Yeah, I've been through a lot of iterations. Started with the disc or with the strip, and that takes forever. And you can only probably do 0.2 millimeters of IPR.
And your patients really don't like you.
No, not at all.
They're like, that is not what I signed up for.
Even worse, Jennifer, is the oscillating instrument, which rattles the patient's head.
Like as it stalls out every time.
Yeah. I had that one from MTM when that do y'all remember MTM? Did y'all ever do that? Minor tooth movement? They had the little oscillating thing, and man, those sons of bitches would get stuck in there. And
oh yeah,
Black and Decker, baby.
Yeah. I like the disc.
Circular saw.
I have a lot of friends that like to use the little skinny burrs. I think they're from Strauss, but I'm a fan of the disc. It's just so quick, and the patient experience, they don't feel it. It's really fast, and they're like, "That was it. That was all. Yep, we're all done."
Yeah, I've done the discs. I've done the manual, like the not mandrel, but the ones with the handles on it. I've done the long strips. I'm back to the burrs because I can just do it so fast. And they're, you know, the worst when you've done like a lot of IPR and the gums do start to react just a little bit. And you put their first tray in and they go and look in the mirror and they're like,
a little bit of blood.
They look like a vampire. You're like, I promise you, it's going to get better. It's going to be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, I do have to happen. I don't know that I've had a patient actually complain about it though. So,
well, I'm looking at it going, let's not look in the mirror.
Right. No,
you know, let's just
fine. Don't worry about that.
Let's go. And then my luck, you know, I'm waiting for the Instagram post. Like, I'm so excited to be starting Invisalign. Press the bell, and it's like, shh.
Blood in the trays. Perfect.
That is not going to convince people to pursue it.
Yeah, not so much.
No, not at all. All right. Well, okay. Let's talk about iTero education for a little bit. Another rapid fire question, because I get this a lot. My hygiene team is resistant. They don't have enough time to do the things that we're already asking them to do. How do we incorporate scanning on every patient into the hygiene operatory?
Yeah, just do it. I don't know. I have a friend who when his hygienist would say, you know, I didn't have time to do the scan, he would just say, okay, I'll go back to my office and you just let me know when you're done with the scan. I'll come back and do the exam. So that's one style to do it, maybe a little aggressive. I set some like bonus goals in my office. So I guess I'd like, if we get 5 scans in a day, then I'll bonus everybody, $50 or something. And we kind of built on that. So I chose the positive encouragement method.
Yeah.
It took a little bit of time, but you just got to be consistent. I think it's the way of the future. It is the best way to do patient education, in my opinion. And just the record, we have that snapshot in time of exactly what their mouth looked like. You can pull it up on your computer anytime you want and see exactly what's going on with that patient. So I think it's the way of the future, and you got to figure it out.
I heard someone not that long ago say the scan is their peripheral exam. And I find myself doing the same with intraoral photos. I look at the intraoral photo and then I already kind of know the diagnosis when I get in there. And then honestly, sometimes I'm looking at the tooth going, man, I don't know if I would have seen that if it had not been for that magnification that I saw in the intraoral photo. So they'll use the scan as this initial review, as opposed to spending all that time thinking that you're going to find all of those things on every tooth surface. You know how it is. Saliva, cheeks, tongues, literally everything that you can think of is in your way from actually being able to see. You get a ton of data in that first initial scan to see, different angles, and then validate and verify with your intraoral exam. But I bet you're going to see a lot more and diagnose a lot more. And I would argue that most patients are like, ew, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah. Everybody always freaks out.
They're like, okay, didn't want to see my mouth that way before. Yucky.
I think it's, we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we were in Cabo. It's a matter of, when you're doing wellness scans, it's ripping the Band-Aid off slowly. So when you decide that this is what you're going to do for your practice, we have 3 hygienists. And it was like, all right, everybody, I want everybody to pick 1 patient a day to scan. Pick 1 patient a day. Have it be a great patient. And then set a deadline to where we add another patient. And there's so much competition. The more hygienists you have, I feel the better it is, because I'll be damned if, room number 2 is going to let room number 1 scan more people before she does, or vice versa. And it's like, okay, you guys are going to scan 1 person a day for 2 weeks. And that would be the max that I give them. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to add another person. 2 weeks after that, it's another person. And then after that, every new patient's getting scanned. And, anybody that doesn't have a scan is getting scanned. And it really seems to work very well for a lot of offices. And you mentioned it, JL. I know, JB, you mentioned it too, but it's worth its weight in gold. If for nothing else, trust and validity over what we're sharing with them. It does so much more than an intraoral picture when we can take it and we can just take that screen and zoom it and open it up and really share it with them, and then hover the magnifying glass over it and show them the actual reality picture, which is very damn similar to the new version of the Lumina.
Yeah, and if you got the Neri on there, you can see even more stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, pretty cool.
Yep. So I would agree. Well, I think we've given people a lot to think about in their practices. And, as we're running out of time, I guess let's finish it up with any closing thoughts, JL or JB or Jeff.
Well, first of all, put your information out there. How do people get in touch with you? Maybe, you're on faculty with Molis Coaching. Put it out there for everybody.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram. I'm trying to post a little bit more interesting things, so you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm also in the process of creating a CE platform for iTero and same-day crowns. So the Digital Restorative Academy, be on the lookout for that. I think I'm going to extend an offer in a few months here.
We're excited
for that, for you guys to have a little discount to that. So be on the lookout for that as well. Just look for me on social and keep an eye out maybe for your emails from your Align reps. Might be coming into town near you sometime to speak.
Awesome.
And how do they find Molis Coaching? Like if they want to deep dive into the...
just moliscoaching.com. And it's got pretty much everything you need to know on that homepage. A lot of good information there. And it's literally everything you need to know to do Invisalign in your practice. So very comprehensive.
That's perfect.
Very cool. Well, take us out, Chad.
Well, folks, I think I'm trying to think of what the closing motto of today is or what we could take away. But there were so many things. But I think the biggest thing is that, scanning is a must in every practice. I mean, it's going to prove validity. It's going to create trust. It's going to increase your case acceptance. And patients really do appreciate it. It's not painful as it was never really quote unquote painful, but it was painstaking to sometimes take those scans. But nowadays it's a thing of the past, and it's just so easy to do, and there's no excuse not to. The second thing is that if you're thinking that you want to incorporate clear aligners in your practice, really take the time and take it upon yourself to further educate yourselves. Taking a basic course isn't going to teach you everything that you need to know. And if you feel that it does, then you're doing it the wrong way. You've got to constantly be willing to change and to be willing to learn new things. And that's what some of these outlets such as Molis Coaching are there for. They're there to make you better clinicians, better Invisalign providers, and so on and so forth. And, look at JL and what he's done with his practice. And, in the short time that he's been there, it sounds like he's really improved things. I'm not going to say he turned it around because I know his dad was a hell of a dentist, probably better than he is. No, but it was great, and he's just made it greater. And it's just by incorporating a few things. Maybe it's Invisalign for you, maybe it's something else, but always be on the look because there are ways that we can reinvent ourselves and make things better and make our practices a better place to be on a daily basis. So with that being said, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Good night. Thanks, JL.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that wraps up another podcast for Dentists in the Know. On behalf of Dr. Jennifer Bell, Dr. Chad Duplantis, and myself, remember that we've got a great profession, so let's make it a great day, Dinks.